This is the Latona's open house of gold prices today. Thank you everyone for joining, and Mo, especially you, thank you for helping us out.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here with you.
Okay, great. Well, let's get into this. So the site that we are going, well, we'll actually, before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. Anybody, hopefully, who can't hear us can see this screen. Whatever questions you have, if you could ask them via a chat message, when I see the questions, I will either ask them immediately if it's the right time, or I will wait until there's a section of the presentation where I think it's appropriate, or it's possible I might ask it at the end of the presentation. So this one, we'll just show everybody what we're talking about first. This is a site that does $66,000 a year in revenue, about $58,000 a year in profit. The asking price is just under $180,000. What's interesting about it, and what makes it different than all the other ones that we're listing and worthy of an open house presentation, is the fact that the site's not in English. It's actually an Arabic site about gold prices. The screenshot that everybody's seeing is in English because I used, sorry, my iPhone just launched, and sorry about that. But the screenshot that I was using Google Chrome's translate functionality. So this was just so everybody could actually see what the navigation items were and what the site was actually about. But the site itself is only in Arabic. So Mo, could you do us all a favor and tell us about the history of the site, why you started it, when you started it, and all those types of things?
Hi. Gold-prices.today.com has been started in 2008. There were no Arabic websites providing gold prices in the Middle East for local currencies like Egyptian pounds or Saudi riyal or other currencies. The story began while I was trying to buy a gold ring for my wife, and I tried hardly to find what's the current gold price right now in Egypt, and I didn't find any websites that talking about that issue. I found only one website showing a Kitoko chart with USD price and telling that's a good gold price in Egypt. Later on, I've decided to make some static pages to update gold prices manually for Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. I thought it's a good idea to help others to know what their current gold price and their current currencies. Later on, I found a massive response for the website. I think we got 5,000 visitors per day while the site was still static website, and we are updating HTMLs manually every 6 hours. I have decided to take that as a real project, and I have decided to code it to be able to get automatically prices and to do automatically calculations of FX rates and gold prices from spot markets. We have launched the website then, and we have found that we are the only website in Middle East at 2008 that we're talking about gold prices in Middle East in a separate profile for each country. As an example, on the website, you could find gold price in Egypt. You could know the gold price in Egypt for every carat and for every shape you would like, for ounce or for kilogram or for gram, starting from 10K carats to 24K carats. Later on, we've decided to do some historical rates plans, so we have added the historical, not only charts, but the tables to show you gold prices day by day since 1970 till now. Every day you can get gold prices in over 170 currency worldwide. A year ago, we have invented what is called our financial engine. Our financial engine is developed in Cake PHP and is providing you with API data from the engine we have invented, which is grabbing gold price and FX rates from different sources online and verify them all together to get the only accurate rates. And it's being updated once every 10 minutes.
Okay.
We have invented this financial engine. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna ask you a couple of questions about the gold market in general. I mean, because I know here in the U.S. there's stores all over the place saying we buy gold, and even when I've traveled around Europe, I've seen that. Is it common in the Middle East as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess when the price is high, right? Um, so I'm gonna be asking questions about that API and that engine and how this whole thing works. Before that, I wanted to ask you about this Mad Mini screenshot that you sent. So,
Yeah.
am I reading this correct that you have about 80,000 double opt-in email subscribers?
Yes.
What do you
I
do with
confirm
those
that.
currently?
I'm sending them daily newsletter as our current editors are writing something like 10 articles per day, and we are sending them RSS manifest every day, and then we can send them 2 promotions weekly about our sponsors.
Okay, great. The do you have the revenue? Do you know the revenue that the newsletter generates um, compared to what the site generates?
No, it's all included on our sponsor plan. As I've mentioned before, that on our website we don't sell CPM ads. We are selling cost per day ads. So we have 3 sponsors. Each sponsor of them gets 2 banners plus weekly mail shots plus a way to add some content to the website if you would like. So revenue from your newsletter is actually calculated in the mail revenue. It is just a way to get more sponsors to the website.
Okay. The in the sites in WordPress, right? And you use Cloudflare, CDN. What about social integration? Tell us about the technology that runs the site.
Yeah, the site is built in a WordPress, a pure WordPress, and I've invented a gold price plugin that connects to the API engine server, which we have invented too.
Okay. So this screenshot here has something to do with this plugin that you built, right?
This screenshots from the database of the financial engine shows that we have 900,000 breakers for FX rates, and shows that we have New York spot rates 10,000 records. Means that we have gold prices for 10,000 days.
And one of the users, one of the people that's watching the webinar right now just sent me a question that's relevant here. They're asking if you have the rights to resell the data that's generated by your financial engine since you're getting the data from another source. In other words, is there a possible business model for additional revenue to package it and resell it?
Our data for FX rates we are getting from Google Finance, which is free, okay, and for NY spot rates we are getting from Gold Console, gold.org, which is also free.
Okay, and are you allowed to resell the data? Do you know?
It's free. It's not a resale. We have taken the data in USD from them, and we have shaped it with our tools to be able to provide gold prices in different currencies that neither gold.org or goldprice.org and any other source have an example gold price in AGB. None of them have that service, so it's a pure service for us.
Okay. And what is this gold rates table?
That shows that we have gold prices for every day. If you can see that we have We are updating the gold price many times by the day, but by the end of the day we delete the old records of the day and we keep only the last price.
Okay. And same thing with the FX rates table, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the revenue. So it appears that each month it makes $6,000 or $5,000, except for last month I made $5,500.
Yeah.
That's the reason for the round numbers. I think when we were talking the other day, it's because you sell the advertisements at a flat rate price, right?
Yeah, we are selling a flat rate price for 3 sponsors. Each sponsor get 2 banners. We have 6 ad spots, so we are charging them 3,000, 1,005 to 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. So sometimes it's 6,000 if we have full capacity and we have 3 sponsors, and if we have 2 sponsors, it may come to 5,000.
Okay.
In this case, we place Google AdSense instead of it.
Okay. And the expenses are exactly $670 every month?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think I have a breakdown right here. So $100 a month for hosting, $200 a month for site editors, 2 at $100 each. I assume those are not full-time people.
Yeah, they are not full-time.
Yeah. And do they work out of Egypt or another country?
No, they work from Egypt. They are Arabic natives. Actually, they are an old college friends, but $100 for editor is a common rate here, because they work only 2 to 3 hours per day to produce 3 to 4 articles.
I suppose now's as good of a time as any to ask you this question, because you're talking about content editors. I've had 2 or 3 people have sent me the question, what would it take to put this in other languages? I mean, you have an old site about gold, which is valuable because Google likes old sites, and how can we increase the traffic and the revenue by getting this thing in English and German and the big languages?
Yeah, the website is mainly in English, and it's just translated using some PO files, some translated files. So if someone wants to translate the whole website, all you have to edit is just a single .po file, because our website is only coded in English, and it is available to be translated.
Okay. And how many articles are there on the site? Do you know?
I don't remember exactly, but something like 3,000 articles.
Okay. So how many articles do the editors place per month?
Not a flat number, but it depends on how many news in the market. But something like they actually post something like 10 articles per day.
10 articles a day.
2012, yeah. On 2011, we were posting about some like 5 articles per day, and later on.
And about how long are these articles?
Depending, some are short. If the news is like something like gold prices just got high, so you will find it a short article like 50 words or something. But if you are describing the economical crisis in gold, something it have to be 600 words or 800 words. It depends on the content of the news.
Okay. So. I guess one more question about the revenue too before we go any further.
Excuse me, Rick. The current accurate number of published articles are 1,800.
1,800. Okay, thank you very much.
Others have been deleted for the applications of news.
Okay, got it. Before we move past the revenue and expenses, some of these advertisement zones are look like the Google AdSense. I had one of the customers just sent a message asking, um, how that performs.
Uh, as I've mentioned before, we have 3 sponsors places. For example, last month and this month, we had only 2 sponsors, so the third place we always give to AdSense if it's free. AdSense performance something like an average of 1,050 US dollars. And the note that in Middle East, as I mentioned before, we are in Ramadan months, and not sacrifice Eid, a small Eid. It's a vacation over here, where people are not interested in economy and nothing but religious habits and something like that. So 1,050 dollars, and while the website is 50% visitors down during the last month, and it started to get back as it was from 2 days ago.
Okay. All right. So this is the a screenshot from AdSense, and I just grabbed the last 12 months. I mean, like you were saying, it's been around for a long time. I mean, it looks like traffic is down, but you still have a lot of traffic. What stood out to me the most looking at this is that you have 65% returning visitors. That's a very high number. Yeah, what do you attribute that to? Do you think it's predominantly the email newsletter list that you're using? Because it's a good thing. We're just trying to figure out how to make sure that the new owner can maintain that number.
Actually, because we are direct and we are showing a full report about each country, and we are having the same returning visitors every day, because if you have tried to deal with gold interested people, they would like to know gold price every 30 minutes. So they come back again and again and again. I mean, it's an idea and an information that you will not be enough to know it only once per day, but you will get back later to check if the price has been updated up and downs and get back again.
Here's a breakdown for everybody on the countries where the traffic's coming from. And again, a lot of the sites that we look at, have even higher than 75% will come from search. So you've got, almost 19% are going to you direct, which is great. Just something for everybody to see. This is a screenshot from SEO Moz. So, Mo, do us a favor. Can you tell us about a day in the life running the site? How much work is involved? How much time? Kind of walk us through your daily activities.
Okay. For me, it's about an hour per day for just checking up if everything is going well, if the prices are still updating, if our editor is still writing, and if the editor copying or not copying news. Just an overall checkup. So for me, it only takes about 1 hour a day, checking up everything, sponsors, ad, working or not, contents if they are not, real rates there or not. But for editors, it may take them 3 to 4 hours per day for each editor to get news sources from English websites, and they translate it and write it in Arabic. If it's from a source, they mention the source. So in overall, it takes up 7 hours for me and one editor. But for me, it's only an hour.
Okay.
Nothing more.
Okay.
Everything else is automated. Newsletter has been sent automatically 10 a.m. every day from RSS feed. Rates are being grabbed automatically. Everything else is automated except a human to check up if everything is going well as managed.
Okay. Now, you've had this site for a while. You've obviously had plenty of time to think about, its potential and what it could become. What would you suggest to a new owner? Where do you see the site's growth and its future expectations?
Yeah. Site growth can be easily maintained because it is based on WordPress. So if they provide the visitors with some new services like question and answers related about gold, if they're provided a way to send those to send all the people daily rates, gold price rates, not just the news to their mail. If they did something like related to sales or their jewelry, this would make the site boom. But for me, to add a service like a directory or to add a service like classifieds ad, I will have to spend more advertising to let people know that they can now exchange, buy or sell their gold belongings online, which I currently I won't be able to fund this operation. That's why I didn't make it till now.
Okay. So why are you selling the site?
No reason for selling some websites that I have other financial portals that have good potentials for me in the future, and I need funds to push it to them, so to be able to make them real economy portals. I note on that some of the other website is also related about gold, but it is not the gold price today. It's another project. All of this needs some cash for SEO, for link buildings, for media advertising, and I've decided to invent it with real editors, especially that with the websites are in English. So I will no longer be able to depend on Egyptians to write, because I will need a native English content writers. I'll need some advertising. I'll need to spend something like $12,000 just for SEO, and that's why I need the money, and that's why I decided to sell the website. And because also I believe if someone gets in some funds with the website to add the new services and or spending some time to cruise the rest of the services I was intended to provide, the website will be cool. The website will be very good, especially because it's right now the first and the biggest portal about the gold in the Middle East.
And you think that's true right now? You think that it's currently today the leading portal about gold in the Middle East?
I'm not saying that from my thoughts or from my beliefs. The website, if you convert it for other websites in Middle East about gold price, you will find that it is the only way that have daily news. Others are just copying and pasting gold prices from different sources and nothing about a bid to show gold price in 3 or 4 countries. The current website we are selling is a portal. It have its editors, it provides news, it provides live rates. It's what is called portal.
So for me, it was hard for me to do a competitive analysis because a lot of the third-party tools that I use and that the people who are listening use, like SEMrush.com and stuff like that, they don't analyze Egypt and countries like that. So it sounds to me that you're very helpful and I'm assuming that you're going to be very willing to where, if we have an interested buyer, if there's someone listening who's interested, that you'll help show them and translate for them and kind of show them the other different sites that are out there and how to.
Yes, I can send you the link of my first competitor. which is called gold-price-today.com. Remove the S from prices. By your eye, without needing to translate the website, you'll find it is only a 5 to 6 web pages website, only grabbing the gold prices. Not a news portal, no newsletter portals, no sponsors, no 25 minutes, no 15 minutes updated feeds. I'm not telling that I'm the biggest portal from my beliefs, but this is what our first sponsors say. Compare the advertisers on my website and compare the advertisers on other websites. You will know how, and you will know why they like our website, because it has quality traffic. It is really the biggest portal, and it's bringing them a lot of leads, forex leads.
Yeah, I think the newsletter is probably the biggest asset from what I'm hearing. That list of 80,000 double opt-in people, especially since you send them something every day. So,
and note on newsletter, one mail shot of our newsletter brings about 30 to 40 leads for the sponsors, each mail shot.
Okay, so I have some other questions here. I'm going to run through a quick financial analysis on this thing, and then when we get to the questions and answers page at the back, I'm going to ask these questions. I got 4 or 5 questions I'm going to run through, but just to get this done, let's just do these slides real quick. So what everybody's seeing here, and Mo, I'm just going to do a lot of the talking for a minute because I got to kind of explain how all this stuff works. But what everybody's seeing here is are screenshots from Latonas.com website. If you click on Webmaster Tools and then you click on Net Present Value Calculator. So what I've done is I'm trying to show an example here on if you thought that this was a low risk site, and you're trying to figure out, well, what's the deal worth to you? Here's kind of how the whole thing works. So I input $179,000 asking price and a 10% discount rate. And the discount rate is your cost of capital. So it's what you're paying to borrow money, or it's what the money is worth to you sitting in the bank. And then I put a 10% risk adjustment on there because, again, this is a low risk sample. And what you end up with is a risk-adjusted discount rate, which is the discount rate plus the risk adjustment. Which, in this case, it's 20%. So what all that means is it's going to look at the next year's cash flow, which, if everything stayed the same, it would be $66,500 minus $8,040, or $58,460. And then it's going to discount that by 20%. To get $48,000. In other words, the time value of money. So it's saying that $58,000 next year is worth $48,000 this year if the cost of money is 10% and the potential that everything could go horribly wrong is 10%. In other words, that risk adjustment. And then it adds a perpetuity formula in there, which is basically saying, well, what is $58,000 a year in perpetuity worth at a 20% discount rate? Well, the answer to that would be $292,000, which is then also deducted by another 20%. So to make a long story short, if you agreed with that 20% discount rate and you paid the asking price of $179,000, you would create $72,000 in wealth the moment you bought the site. So NPV is all about how much wealth you're creating or how much wealth you're destroying. So to put this in another light, this is a high risk analysis, and I basically just changed a couple things. I changed the risk to 25%. So you're saying, okay, well, what if there's a 25% chance that the site could go away? And I changed it to, instead of keeping the site, to selling the site, and I inputted a number there because the perpetuity formula is automatically generated. Selling the site, you got to put a number in, and I put in there $250,000. So let's say we're going to sell it for a modest increase over what we're paying for it a year later. And in this scenario, you're only creating $1,500 in wealth, and your internal rate of return is less than your discount rate, which is a flag. So so something has to give. And you need to have some kind of plan, or you got to work something out on the price. So what I've done is kind of put here in my opinion, what I would do if I bought this thing. So, well, first thing I would do is I would apply a 20% discount rate, which I think is reasonable considering the fact that gold is so competitive, but I also trying to give some credit where credit's due in the fact that it's an old site, it's been around a long time, it has a ton of content, so it's not like super risky. But either way we're looking at a 30% adjusted discount rate. And then in my plan, I'm going to get this site translated into other languages. So I'm increasing the expenses every year, and I'm increasing the revenue every year based on the fact that I think I'm going to be picking up additional traffic. But I was pretty conservative, I thought anyway, on the increases I was doing. And then I'm going to just leave it as a perpetuity formula. So with all these assumptions, in my little plan here, I come up with a net present value of $47,000, that I'm creating $47,000 in wealth. Your assumptions and your numbers may be entirely different. What I encourage everybody to do is to use the calculator yourself, put in there how you think is going to happen, and what you want to pay for the site, and then all the numbers should just generate. And remember, this is just valuing the cash flow. The net present value calculator is only valuing the cash flow. It doesn't take into account the value of content, or the value of the email addresses, or the value of any goodwill, or any other values that a business would have. It's just telling you what the cash flow is worth. So with that, let's get back to the questions and answers. And sorry about that, Mo, but we do represent buyers and sellers, so I got to kind of paint the whole picture here. One of the questions that I have, let's go with the first question. The first question I have is, are any of the current advertisers that you have under lengthy contracts? Do you have them under, do they have to stay advertisers for any length of time?
Our maximum advertising contract will end next month.
Okay, so they're month to month then, essentially.
Actually, they are contracting 3 months. Our minimum contract is 3 months. What I'm talking about the current stage, that I will find currently 2 sponsors, Forex Yard and XP. Forex Yard will end up in 1 month. Forex XP in the same time. So by October, by 1st of October.
Okay. The next question I have is, these Egyptian writers that you had. You said that they're friends of yours for a long time. Are they willing to continue doing the same thing for the new owner?
Sure. They are currently working from home. One of them working from home and the other one working from my office. And both are stuck to the website. I don't think they will leave the website easily.
Okay. The next question I have, someone's asking, does the financial engine run on its own, or does it require any maintenance?
No, actually, it requires just a checkup from the front end. So in case you found that your prices shows 0 prices, or not showing the today's price, so this means you have trouble in cash, or you have trouble in the engine. For 2 years now, we had 0 troubles.
Okay. Are there another question that came in on the data feeds because it's such an integral part of the site. Um,
Yeah.
the question is asking, are there any redundancies for the data? In other words, if you lost those feeds, is there another place to get it?
Currently, I'm getting gold price from one source, which is gold.org, and I'm getting the FX rates from Yahoo Financial, and getting some currencies that is not listed in Yahoo Financials, like Syria currency. I'm getting it from a different source, like XA.com. In a way or another, the gold price, the website is built over WordPress plugin. That means that it takes feeds from anywhere. If you would like to skip the financial engine, you can easily contract with xe.com for a data feed, or contract with many other companies that provide a gold and forex rates data feeds for as low as $2,000 per year, I think. So you will not have to change anything about the plugin. You will just have to change one or two lines. And if you decided so, I would be happy to do that for you. If you decided to leave the financial engine, if it is, again, it's a low or somehow in your country.
So you're doing it in a way that you don't have to buy the feeds.
You don't have to buy unless you want to buy.
Okay, and
in Egypt and Middle East, there is no low restrictions for the data feeds, so everything is okay in my country law. Actually, I don't know much about the buyer country law, so you have to be sure first of that. But I mean, there are hundreds of options for that, and the maximum cost option of them would be about $2,000 per year for a feed.
okay, and so, and just to be clear, do you review the data before it's pushed to the website by like human involvement, or does it get pushed to the website every day automatically?
And just an hour per day to check if the prices are logical. For example, the current gold prices is 1,067, 670. As example, if it shows 100 or 200, that means that something wrong, and I have to get back to the financial server to check what is wrong. But otherwise, it shows accurate data as it's brought or grabbed from sources. In the last 2 years, this happened 0 times again.
Okay, so you just look at it just in case to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, and just in case, I'm available to do maintenance or code updates if the buyer required to hire for later.
Okay, I think everybody heard that and appreciates that. Everybody likes to hear that a seller is available to help them. I'm almost out of questions here. Do you have? Is there anything that we should have asked that we didn't ask? Is there any last things that you want to say about the site and that you want everybody should hear?
Actually, that is everything, and I'm not so happy selling the website because it's a 4 years old baby for mine, you know. But I believe I really wish that the buyer don't keep the website as it is. And it is okay if someone wants to join as a partner. It's okay too for me. But I hope that the buyer keep providing the new services I dream to see in a website in the Middle East, like a gold classifieds. So people can buy gold, people can sell gold online. I hope he adds this service to the website and not getting this as it is for now. Financially wise, it will get him much more money, much more traffic. Community wise, he will still be the biggest portal as he is in.
Yeah, you said 4 years old, right? You started this site in 2008.
Yeah, November 2008.
November of 2008. Okay, just wanted to make, someone was asking for confirmation on that.
Domain age, and he can check waybackmachine.com.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think that's it. Mo, I really appreciate you taking the time to walk us through this. If anybody has any questions, they can reach out to Adam at latonas.com, who's the listing broker. Of course, anybody can email me at any time, or Rick at latonas.com. And that's it. With that, we'll stop the recording and stop the presentation. Thank you, Mo.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, and good luck for you all.
All right, bye-bye.